to a game preview presented by Simply IOA. 3 big things to pay attention to on Sunday. The first one is now or never. If you do not run the ball this week, you're never going to get to the point where you want to be this season. The Jaguars defense has had trouble stopping the run the past few weeks, so you need to get the run going on offense with this guy, James Robinson, to make things a little better going forward. Big thing too is don't sleep on Matthew Stafford. We just heard head coach Doug Marrone talk about this guy and say he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Not among the guys of Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson, but a borderline elite passer. He's completed 70% of his passes for 280 yards in the 2 wins he's had against the Jaguars. Interesting note, no touchdown passes, however, against the Jags in his career. And finally, big thing 3 is find a way. Find a way to win this game. This is not going to be a Jaguars team that imposes its will on all of its opponents, but whether it's a turnover or a red zone possession or even a late field goal, you have to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way. And Brian, big time, we're talking about those 2 interceptions, those 2 turnovers we saw last week against the Texans, and no points. You can't have that again this week.
No, that's it. I mean, that's the obvious point. When you're given a way, take the way is really what it is. Forget finding it. Sometimes you're given it. And last week they were, and they didn't take that path. I want to go back to the top. Because when I wrote this yesterday, I wanted to make this point, and I obviously didn't to you well enough in the email that I sent you. And that is, this is the week to run the ball for 2 reasons. 1, the Lions haven't had much success stopping the run. They're vulnerable to it. So go with the run this week. But the other reason that you really want to attack it this week is because everyone is beating you over the head with it, right? I mean, Doug took it on Monday and Jay took it on Wednesday. If we had been able to go in the locker room this week, the players would have heard it to the point that they said, just please run the ball and get everyone off our back. This is the week. The spotlight will never be brighter on the running game than right here after last week. And it just so happens that you're not playing the Steelers or the Ravens, who are really, really good at stopping the run. This is a team you should be able to run against. The offensive line, and John, I know you wrote it in Quick Thoughts this week, has played well this year. No one wants to give them any credit. It's been too easy of a target, too much low-hanging fruit. Not this year. They're playing well. Give it to Robinson. Go.
Yeah, John, you just heard Brian talk about that Lions run defense, and it's a really interesting note. The past 3 weeks, the Jaguars have faced a defense that is ranked last in the NFL against the run. So every week we say, oh, well, this is going to be the week that they really get the run going. It hasn't happened the past 2 weeks against the worst ranked run defense in the league. So, hey, you got to think maybe this week it'll happen.
Yeah, and the stat can be a little deceiving in this sense. If you get into a game in the NFL, I don't care how bad the run defense is, if you get into the game and you see that the opposing defense is scheming to take the run away and they are presenting passing opportunities that you have to take, then there is a school of thought that, look, you've got to be able to throw the ball against certain defenses to be able to beat them. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt in that sense. I'm sure there were cases in the last few weeks where there were schemes that they felt like they had to throw against. All of that said, they know they need to stick to the run better. As a play caller, Gruden has said it. So that is it's certainly a key, and I think they will do it better this week. One thing in the big things thing, 2 and 3 play into each other. Just win and take advantage of opportunities, and Matt Stafford are sort of the same thing. He's very, very good, but he will also, if you pressure him, he will throw you the ball and give you opportunities. Not every play, of course, but a key to me this game is when they have their chances at interceptions, they must make them. If you see the Jaguars defensive backs clapping their hands after dropping a pick, that's bad. Because if you've got 2 or 3 of those opportunities, this week they need to take advantage of those and get them. You can't see defensive guy frustration on the sidelines after an oh-so-close pick. It's got to be made.
Absolutely. That was the biggest difference between week 1 and week 4. Week 1, when they were facing Phillip Rivers, they took advantage of those turnovers last week against the Texans. They did not. You saw the difference with a win and a loss.